Have you ever wondered how to establish a real emotional bond with a mature woman just by touching her, without the need for words, that penetrates hearts? Perhaps this question has crossed the minds of many men, but they have not dared to express it. Because when it comes to establishing an emotional bond, most of us think of big words, deep glances, or trust that develops over time. However, sometimes, the path to a person's heart begins with that thin electric current passing through your fingertips. And this journey, especially on the path to the heart of a mature woman, can be much more meaningful and impressive than you think. A mature woman. The depth that time has given her, the calm wisdom hidden in the texture of experiences, a heart that is tired but still beats with hope. Of course, establishing a real bond with her is not possible with just physical contact. But when the right touches, emotionally charged gestures, sincere interest and sincere intentions are combined, what emerges is not just skin contact, but a much deeper, more special closeness. In this video, I will share with you 7 special touch points that can trigger passion, affection, and emotional connection in a mature woman. These are points that express much more than any physical contact. Each one of them can affect not only the body of a woman, but also her heart. In fact, when applied correctly, these touches can revive feelings that have been forgotten for years within her: trust, belonging, desire, and even a childlike excitement. All of these can open the door to a connection that is not only physical, but also spiritual. But don't get me wrong, these are not tactics for superficial intimacy. They are about feeling her energy, understanding her needs, and slowly nurturing the trust that has been built over time. They are about listening to her emotional rhythm, noticing the light in her eyes, and having the courage to touch her soul. Just think, a woman who has always felt like she had to be strong for years, realizes that she can feel again thanks to you. This is where the real connection begins. The first 2 areas are impressive enough to respond like a spark when touched in the right way. But the 7th point, that's completely different. That point can lead to a deep bridge being built between you with an understanding beyond words. If you're ready, let's get started. But before that, a little reminder: if you want to be informed about such content, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and turn on notifications. Now, let's start this special journey that will make you think, and maybe help you rediscover yourself. First, a surprisingly effective but often overlooked area: the lower back. Although it may seem ordinary at first glance, a conscious, often sincere touch to this area can instantly create a wave of warmth and trust in the woman's body. Because this contact carries an emotional, "I am here" message rather than a physical one. Placing your hand lightly on her waist, while walking together in a crowded environment is one of the simplest, yet most meaningful ways to tell her you are not alone. I am with you. This small but effective movement creates a kind of invisible sense of protection. Think of a touch that can express taking care without possessing, supporting without pressuring. In other words, this gesture is like speaking the language of the heart, not the body. But there is a very fine line to be careful about here. This touch should never be oppressive or commanding. Otherwise, it creates distance instead of closeness. Therefore, the message you gently give with your fingertips should resonate with her inner world: I value you, I trust you, and I feel you as you are. Second area, where elegance and vulnerability meet: the nape of the neck. The nape of a woman is both physically sensitive and spiritually vulnerable. That's why a gentle touch here can be much more effective than you think. Fingers gently touching the nape of your neck, or a breath mingling in her hair, can sometimes mean more than a kiss. It means I don't just see you, I feel you. And believe me, women feel this feeling deep down. It is very important that your intentions are sincere when touching this area, not just to get a reaction, but to really get close to her, to feel like one with her. For example, your hand gently sliding to her nape during a hug, or your fingers gently touching her nape as you get closer to her face while telling her something. These small details can have a big impact on a woman's mind. A little note here: have you ever wanted to make a woman unable to get you out of her mind with just one message? Sometimes a single sentence can create a storm in her mind. Don't underestimate the power of words. Because a sentence spoken correctly can go deeper than even the strongest touch. You can learn these special messages by clicking on the first link in the description. But let me warn you, these words can change the game. It can stir hearts, manipulate thoughts, and make you unforgettable. Our third point, the arm. It may sound quite ordinary at first glance. After all, The arm is one of the most visible and most mobile parts of the body. However, the issue is not just ordinary. What really matters is the effect you create in those seemingly ordinary moments, especially in the middle of an emotional conversation, when a sincere topic is brought up over a cup of coffee, or when a deep memory from the past is shared. Lightly touching the other person's arm can create an invisible but strong bond between you. This touch conveys more than words can express. It is a silent but effective way of saying I understand you. I am here, or what you are saying is important to me. Of course, it is necessary to approach here without exaggeration, with a sincere naturalness. Neither a touch that is too obvious or disturbingly intense, nor a touch that is almost non-existent. A touch that is just right increases the permanence of the bond you have established at that moment. Especially when emphasizing a subject or listening to him/her carefully. Gently touching his/her arm will also support the sincerity behind your words with your body language. This is an indication that communication is not only established with words but also with feelings. And believe me, people do not forget what they feel. The fourth area, the knee. The knee. Perhaps it is an area that most of us do not even think of as a place to be touched. But when the right moment comes, it is actually an extremely effective and powerful point of contact. Think about it, you are watching a movie together in silence. Or you are sipping a drink together under dim lights, accompanied by soft music. In those calm and peaceful moments, gently placing your hand on his/her knee can be the warmest expression of feelings that cannot be put into words. This seemingly simple gesture actually tells a lot. It makes you feel your closeness, your trust, and how valuable the moments you spend with him/her are to you. But the most important thing is this: the purpose of this contact should be to establish an emotional bond, rather than a physical one. Because a person only feels close to someone they feel safe with. And when you gently touch his/her knee, you are telling him/her I am at peace when I am with you. At the same time, this touch also helps her feel special and valued. This small but meaningful gesture is a silent but impressive way of saying, you are not an ordinary person to me. In other words, you tell a lot without saying much. The fifth point of touch, the waist. And now we come to one of the most emotional areas, the waist. Perhaps one of the most meaningful places to touch. Because there is not only physical contact here, there is also a sense of protection, ownership, and deep attachment. Imagine putting your hand on her waist while dancing. That moment is a moment when you become one with not only the music, but also with it. Or your hand naturally placed on her waist during a photo taken together. All these moments sincerely convey the message, I am with you, I value you. A gentle touch on her waist also makes her feel safe and understood. But remember, this area is also quite personal and sensitive. Therefore, it is necessary to approach without pushing the boundaries. Always keeping the other party's comfort in the foreground. Adjusting the dose of intimacy well is very important for the healthy progress of the relationship. Because touching is not only a physical contact, it is also an expression of respect, love, and trust. A good feeling waist contact is one of the most elegant ways to say, I am here, I am ready to support you, and I want to strengthen this bond together. The sixth area, hands. Although hands often seem like an ordinary detail in our daily lives, they are actually one of the most special points of contact, where a person can convey their feelings in their purest form. Sometimes even a small touch can express feelings that words cannot. Just think, you are holding her hand while sitting in a cafe and having the most beautiful conversation. This seemingly simple gesture is actually the most natural form of the message I am with you, coming from the depths of your heart. Or placing your palm on hers while walking in a park. That is when the invisible bridge, established between two people, becomes even stronger. It is important to hold her with a peaceful warmth, rather than grasping her tightly. Because the magic of this contact is hidden in its naturalness and sincerity. While walking hand in hand, not only your steps, but also your hearts start to beat in the same rhythm. For a woman who feels loved and valued at that moment, this small touch may revive the feeling of trust she has needed for a long time. And finally, the seventh point, the wrist. A woman's wrist is almost a symbol of elegance, with its delicateness and fragility. The inner wrist in particular, is a point that should be approached with care due to its physical and emotional sensitivity. Touching her wrist gently reflects the value and delicacy you give her. A sincere touch followed by a delicate kiss. Although it may sound simple, this small detail is powerful enough to leave deep marks in her heart. It may only last for a short moment, but the feeling it leaves will be remembered for a long time. It is very important that this contact is gentle, slow, and attentive, because the aim is to touch not only her skin but also her soul. This is one of the most romantic ways to tell her you are precious to me. These touches are not just physical interactions. They are also expressions that strengthen emotional bonds, nourish trust, and deepen mutual respect. If you want to establish a real connection with a woman, you should appeal to her soul with your body language. Every sincere contact helps her feel more valuable, more understood, and more secure. This not only brings your relationship closer, but also takes it to a deeper and more special dimension. Remember, every woman is a unique world, and the way to enter that world is through sensitivity, understanding, and respect. Of course, these touches do not work miracles, because every woman has her own limits, emotional expectations, and needs. The important thing is to listen to the energy of the person in front of you, respect their limits, and live each moment consciously, without forcing any contact. The feeling you feel and the value you give in those moments mean more than words. Women, on the other hand, definitely notice this subtlety, the care and sincerity in those small details. Because sometimes the greatest bonds are established with the simplest and most sincere actions. The next time you approach a woman, aim to establish a real connection with her rather than impressing her. A sincere contact with your eyes, a sincere smile, and a small touch given at the right time. Maybe this will be exactly what will trigger feelings that no one else has been able to evoke for a long time. Remember, people may forget words, but the feelings they feel leave a mark on their memories. If you can reflect the importance and power of these touches in your life correctly, you will not only be an attractive man in the eyes of a woman, but also a special person who respects her feelings, cares about her inner world, and values her. This will allow your relationship to rise on solid foundations. If you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button to support us. You can subscribe to the channel for more content and be notified of our new videos immediately by opening notifications. So, which touch was the most meaningful for you? Don't forget to share your thoughts with us in the comments, so that we can all step into the journey of deeper and more meaningful connections together. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself, your feelings, and your loved ones. Remember, small touches carry great meanings.